ShootingUSA.com, your resource for firearms news and information.
From time to time, you may be forced to get into unusual shooting positions in competition, like we saw earlier in the Bushnell rifle match. Well, the fact is, in the rapidly growing sport of precision rifle shooting, the key to success is knowing how to build a solid shooting position. John Paul is at his Blue Steel Ranch with a lesson on how to do that, from the most basic positions to some unusual variations.
All right, today we're going to talk about building a position. When you build a position, you need to accomplish two things. You need to get the best stability for the gun, but you also have to get your body signature out of the whole system as much as possible. Now there's a trick to all of that. Dave's going to demonstrate, and I'm going to tell you the how and the why of it. Let's take a look at basic prone, because that's where we're going to start. This is your most stable position. Let's take a look at where Dave's legs are and where his body is in relationship to the weapon. He's squared up to the weapon. He's got his legs spread apart. What does that do for you? The recoil impulse is traveling straight through your body, giving you a faster sight recovery. Take a look at where his head is positioned on the stock aggressively. Got a tight cheek weld. He's got the rifle loaded into the bipod slightly. Take a look at what he's doing with the rear bag, how he's grabbing the rear bag with his weak hand and he's squeezing that bag, and that gives him the ability to fine-tune the attitude of the rifle to the target, fine-tune his aiming point while still getting a three-point bearing on the gun, the rifle into the ground, stabilizing the rifle into the ground, and yet his body signature is really synced out by the earth itself. Now this is your most stable position, and it's nice if you can use it, but quite honestly, it's not too often that you can, because in the real world, in the practical long-range competition world, this is not the position you're typically going to be able to use. In case you don't have the luxury of shooting prone, and you won't, then you need to have a compromised position. Let's call this the mini Kama Sutra of shooting positions. This is one of the foundations blocks, and I call this the reverse kneel. Let's take a look at how he's got this position built. He's got his rifle kind of up towards the center of gravity against the prop, whatever that may be, a car, a barricade, rock, whatever. Look at where he's got his right elbow braced on his knee. That sinks out the movement of the rifle and his body signature through his bone structure into the ground, giving maximum stability in this position while getting high up off the ground to make a precision shot. All right, hit one, Dave. I guess that works. In the real world, in the natural terrain, many times you're not going to have a line of sight on a target from a low position. And guess what? There's not going to be anything around to use as a prop. Well, you need to build a position, keep building height into a position while maintaining stability. Here's your basic sitting position. Note how he's got his elbows on his two knees. Note how he's hunched into the rifle. Note where he's got his hand on the forearm. This is giving him his maximum stability without having an actual prop to brace the rifle on. What if you need a little bit more height? Let's show him Jimmy Clark sitting. Our friend Jimmy Clark came up with this one years ago, and I've used it at many matches. Look to see what he's done with the bipod. He's got the bipod actually braced on the toes of his feet. That's going to give him a little bit more height. He's going to pull that rifle against the bipod against his feet, and it's really an amazingly stable position. Hit one, Dave. Well, that one works. And now we'll be going down into the valley of death for one more position. At many team events, you're going to be forced to shoot something that's called buddy support. Now there's infinite possibilities and you need to improvise, but we're going to show you just one possibility. The important thing here is communication between the shooter and the support man. Now when Dave has composed his sight picture and he's just about getting ready to pull, he's going to tell me to hold. And at that point, I'm going to hold my breath and do everything I can to get rid of as much body signature as I can. The second thing I'm going to do is cover my face. All right, Dave, hit one. Hold. That works too.
And yes, we are seeing match requirements that you must use your team partner for rifle support. Knowing how to do that will help carry you to a win.